Hey guys, welcome back to Master Manifestor Lessons. My name is Naomi. Today we're going to be talking about detachment, what you're doing wrong, exactly how to fix it using my new L.U.X.E method. Detachment is one of the most misunderstood concepts in manifestation. People think detachment means not caring, pretending you don't want it, emotional disconnecting. That's not detachment, that's suppression. Real detachment is not about wanting less, it's about needing less control. Detachment is when your sense of safety no longer depends on a specific outcome. And in 2026, it's a skill that separates people that manifest consistently from people who keep almost getting there. The concept to understand here is control does not equal safety. The hyperfocus doesn't create alignment, it creates pressure. Because forced attachment is still attachment. I found that most manifestation advice goes wrong. People try to detach by affirming indifference, pretending they don't care, just trying to distract themselves. But internally, they're still checking, they're still hoping, they're still praying. They're still bracing. That is not detachment. That is attachment in disguise. Real world example, you tell yourself you don't care about an outcome. You're still refreshing email and text. You're still refreshing your DMs on social media and nothing's come through. Rereading the messages over and over again is going to create tension in the body and the mind. It's going to create a lot of restlessness as well because your mind is stimulated. And then if you're laying down to go to sleep or something of that nature, then you don't have anything to do with that energy. Which is why you may have trouble going back to sleep after being stuck in that loop. Something that I've actually been trying is if I get stuck in a loop, then I will go and do like 10, 15 squats or so, or go into a different room of the house and meditate for a little bit and just try to move my body, stretch, do something to get the energy to release so it's not stagnant in my body. Detachment cannot be performed, it has to be released. What detachment actually is. Detachment is self-anchoring. True detachment is the ability to stay emotionally anchored in yourself even while desiring something deeply. It's saying, I want this, but I trust myself even if that changes. Detachment isn't about lowering your desire. It's about removing your own fear from your desires, which is going to help you manifest quicker. Comment this below. When pressure leaves, flow returns. Comment it below to affirm it. If you're attached to a specific outcome with a job, opportunity, or a person, repeat this to yourself at least 2 times a day. When pressure leaves, flow returns. Now let's get into it, into my L.U.X.E method. This is my own manifestation technique that I developed recently. Embodying detachment, more dark feminine aspects of femininity, of attracting and manifesting quicker and more in a more aligned fashion. Heavy on allowance. A lot of people don't realize that allowance is the final step. You have to do the work to align with what you're manifesting. But if you're not allowing it to with who you are when you're going, that's a whole other story, and it's just your manifestations aren't going to land. Attachment is a process. It does not happen randomly. It is a byproduct of regulation. This is why I'm going to be teaching manifestation as a sequence moving forward, not as a vibe. The L is, and forgive the whiteboard looking different. I blended 2 scripts by accident when I was recording, and or I exited out of one script when I was recording and had to go back in, and then it was a different script. So the board looks different for a reason because I effed up. Anyway, the L.U.X.E method. L stands for lean back. What does that mean? Lean back is about releasing urgency and allowing flow. Because your urgency to shift and have your situation be so different is blocking the energy from coming to you because you're manifesting out of a place of desperation, not out of alignment and allowance. Urgency is like secretly attachment emotion. I really fucked up my finger. For me, leaning back meant recognizing how often I was hovering over outcomes and then recognizing that shift and stepping back and pausing. Nothing collapsed. Nothing collapsed. What actually changed was my breath work, my breathing, my ability to stay present in the moment, my ability to not be grasping at straws and be so nervous about certain things not happening for me, because safety precedes surrender. Step 2 was unblock in the L.U.X.E method. What does unblock mean? We're releasing fear-based beliefs. We're releasing fear-based beliefs through awareness because awareness releases your grip on things. Once urgency drops, attachment reveals itself through your beliefs. Beliefs like, if I don't stay focused, it won't happen. If I relax, I'll lose this momentum. If I detach, I'll lose this opportunity. These beliefs were learned in an environment where control equals survival. Unblocking isn't about arguing with these beliefs. It's about updating the nervous system. This is why people cling the hardest when things are about to be resolved. The nervous system has not learned that ease is safe yet. Step number 3, expand. We're releasing identity-based attachment. It's giving expectation without tension. Expansion is where detachment stabilizes. You no longer need the outcome to validate who you are. You stop chasing clarity, you stop explaining yourself, and you start allowing space without panic. When my identity shifted from this has to work out to I'll be okay regardless, my identity softened and that things aligned and manifested for me a lot faster. Remember, detachment doesn't slow manifestation, it only removes resistance. The last step in the L.U.X.E method is enjoy. This is about releasing future dependence. And enjoyment is detachment embodied. When you can enjoy your life now, your system starts bargaining for your future, meaning it doesn't really care what your future is. Not that it doesn't care, but you stop caring and holding so tightly to what your future needs to be and start allowing other opportunities and different paths to come to you. Most attachment comes from postponing peace. I'll relax when it works out for me. Instead, enjoyment says, I'll relax now. Notice how breakthroughs typically happen when people are engaged with their own lives and they're in the present moment. They're not waiting for something to happen. More intuitive downloads happen for them. More creative ideas happen for them. More breakthroughs happen for them. And that's not coincidence, that's regulation. It's letting go of your attachment. How about saying something like this? What you don't need to save you, you can receive calmly. Why detachment makes people feel uncomfortable? Control feels familiar, so detachment feels unsafe and unfamiliar because of the control that we usually go about in our day-to-day lives. Detachment asks you to trust yourself and not the outcome, which is why detachment is transformative. When you allow yourself to stop clinging to the outcome of what you're manifesting, you literally let in so many other possibilities and opportunities, and your life can go so many other different directions that you never know that you never knew you wanted or needed to become the best version of yourself, the most aligned version of yourself, the version of you that actually has everything that she wants or he wants or they want. Detachment is not about emotional distance. It's about self-trust. It's about power, getting your power back. When you stop gripping outcomes, you stop signaling lack, and life responds dramatically differently for you. Please like and subscribe to the channel. That helps out a lot. And make sure to turn on the notification bell so you get updates on other videos within my L.U.X.E manifestation method. And I also have 2 more manifestation methods that I'm going to be integrating in 2026. They're giving more divine feminine, dark feminine energy, and you don't want to miss it. Because forced attachment is still attachment.